Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. So today I'm going to be bringing a special video for you guys, making a tutorial on how to make a lot of money in Escape from Tarkov. Now, although there are multiple different methods for this, many of which have many tutorials on YouTube for, and some of which are just things that people don't really discuss with each other because they don't want it to be a meta. There are definitely a lot of ways to make money in Escape from Tarkov, some that are better than others, some that are more efficient than others, but I'm gonna talk about one that is kind of overlooked, and honestly, when people make videos on it, they don't really emphasize the monetary gain from doing this. But we're gonna be talking about the Stylish One quest. So the Stylish One quest was added into the game about a month and a half ago, something like that, and it was pretty much just a meme quest that you got from Ragman, and Ragman gives you this quest after, I believe it's So It Good Part 4 or High Life Part 2. I'm pretty sure one of those two quests that are kind of end game type quests for Ragman. And the quest tasks you with going into the map Interchange and killing the scav boss 100 times. Killa is probably the easiest scav boss in Escape from Tarkov to kill. He's a single man with no bodyguards who wears a class 4 helmet with a level 6 visor and level 5 body armor, and is usually equipped with an RPK with eagle neck rounds, which are the best rifle AP rounds in the game aside M995. So although Killa is definitely hard to kill for inexperienced players, his AI is easily manipulated. So although it is extremely RNG and really hard to do, it is possible, and a lot of people have already completed it, including myself, in which I just completed it today. So I wanted to go over how I really did it, was it really worth it, and how it just gives you so much money, more than you can ever want, and how it can give you an excessive amount of body armor and guns. So when I started the Killa quest, I was sitting around about 19 million rubles, somewhere around there, because, you know, I had been playing a lot, killing a lot of people, doing quests, you know, getting a lot of good juice, playing really well. So, you know, it was going pretty well for me. But when I started this quest, you know, I was like, okay, I'm never gonna finish this, but I'm gonna just start it anyways. And I started to really see how profitable farming Killa really is, because Killa, although he is pretty difficult to kill, if you do kill him, he always has his classic Killa armor on and his Killa helmet, both of which are worth a large sum of money. The Killa helmet itself is worth around 140,000 rubles to sell the skier, and the body armor is worth about 100,000 to sell the skier and 200,000 on the flea. So that's already 340,000 for just killing him, not taking his gun. Including his gun, depending on what he's equipped with, an RPK, a decked out PP19, or an AKM, you could be looking at a 100,000 ruble gun, a 70,000 ruble gun, or a 40,000 ruble gun. But his most common loadout is to have an RPK with a drum mag filled with eagle neck rounds with 3 60 rounder GL31 60 round extended mags for the 5.45, all of which are completely filled with eagle neck rounds. So not only is the gun itself worth an extremely large sum of money, but the rounds inside it are definitely a gold mine itself, because the eagle neck rounds sell for about 900 to 1.1k rubles a bullet. So with the drum mag and all the other mags included, you're looking at another about 170 to 200,000 rubles, depending on how much he's fired at you. So on top of that, he also spawns with keycards and rare items in his pockets. So you're looking at another 100,000, anywhere from 10 to 100,000 rubles worth of keys in his pockets, as well as nades. So Killa is definitely a really profitable scav boss to kill, considering he has no bodyguards and his AI is definitely the easiest to manipulate. So for people who are looking for an easy way to farm Killa, to do the Stylish One, or they even just want to try and farm him even if they don't have the task because he's just so good for money, I'll show you guys what I took out for killing him 100 times. And although it is really hard to get him to spawn, it is definitely worth it when you're trying to farm him, because he just brings so much money and loot to you, it's crazy. And to say the least, I have a stockpile of Killa armor that's gonna last me a lifetime, so I can show you that now. That is just the amount of Killa armor that I have. That doesn't even include all the RPKs that I have stashed away. I have an entire weapons box somewhere filled with RPKs, and about 3 mag boxes just filled with 60 round mags. Loot wise, it's really good. Money wise, it's really good. So, you know, if you like the map Interchange and you like to play it a lot, I definitely recommend this tactic, because it gives you a little bit more excitement when you get to kill Killa and you know you're sitting on a bunch of money, even without getting lucky in one of the tag stores. So the way that I killed him 100 times, and for most of the Killa hunters that are clicking on this video, this is probably what you're here for, is to see what I'm taking out. So at first I kind of watched Deadly Slav's video on Killa farming, and his technique was a lot different to mine. His was, you know, taking out extremely low recoil AKs and packing them with Eagleneck and BS rounds with 60 round mags, and an excessive amount of extra mags for that. You know, he was trying to go for protection against players, geared squads, as well as Killa. And although that does work, and for people who have a ridiculous amount of money like myself, it's definitely a way you can go. But considering I absolutely despise the map Interchange, and I'm really bad at PvP on it, I didn't really want to go around dying almost every raid with expensive kits, because I would run out of money pretty quickly. So Tweak made a video about a week later, and his tactic for doing the Killa quest was suggesting that people take out fast firing SMGs with hollow point rounds, manipulating Killa's AI to push you, and then just leg metaing him every single time he comes around the corner. And although this can work, it usually doesn't, because you either get killed by other players, other scavs, other players' scavs. It just becomes a mess. So although it is cheap and it can be effective, it's only effective under certain circumstances. And I've had it where I would be leg metaing with a Keter or an MP9, and he would just instantly shoot his gun up into my face, and honestly, it just wasn't the way to go. So for my last about 40 kills, I switched it up and I built my own kit, and I literally only died to Killa twice, both of which because I didn't see him. He was sitting on the dark corner. I didn't know he was there. So this definitely improved my ratio of Killa kills when I actually had the chance to kill him. It allowed me from going to dying to him every probably 1 to 5 raids I encountered him, to pretty much none. So the way I set up my kit was I went to Ragman tier 2, and I bought myself the 6B 3TM-01 armored rig. So this is for people who don't like to bring out like a lot of extra mags for reloading and whatnot, and a lot of extra meds. This is for somebody who's going to bring out 2 extra mags and a solo or a car, or maybe you can have 3 extra mags and an IFAK and an AI2, some painkillers and whatnot. So this rig allows you to have class 4 body armor protection, as well as providing a rig for you. And considering it is only 47,000 rubles, which is significantly less compared to the other class 4 body armor in the game, I definitely recommend it. Although it doesn't protect your neck, it definitely has done me some good in a lot of different PvP encounters over the course of me trying to complete the stylish one. So not only is it very cheap, but if you insure it, most people don't take armored rigs because most people don't go in with them. So even if they do, they can't really take them. So a good majority of the time, the way that I completed the stylish one quest without, you know, spending endless amounts of money is by getting these rigs back in insurance and then taking them back out again. Not only does this rig have level 4 class body armor protection, but even if it gets blacked out or completely damaged, it does have a really good repair rate. So you can use it over and over and over for a very long time, and it's still going to protect you. That's definitely something I would recommend. If not, I would go for level 3 class body armor, because it will protect you against other players, not as well as the level 4, and it'll protect you from at least 2 shots from the Eagleneck rounds. So the next thing I used was the helmet available at level 1 Ragman, the 1968 steel helmet. And a lot of people like to meme this helmet, but this helmet definitely has done me some good. It's really cheap, really reliable, and not a lot of people like to take it either, so you get it back in insurance a good amount of times. Whether or not you want to have contacts is up to you, but I usually just rock the GSSHs so that I can hear Killa's movement through the walls, if I can hear him shuffling or not in his spawn points, which would give me a good indication if he's actually there. So it also allows you to hear players sneaking up on you, because players on Interchange do like to play a lot more passively than other maps. So that pretty much does it for armor and head protection. So then we'll get down to what gun I primarily used for my last 40 kills. So we're gonna go to Prapor. Level 2, you don't even have to do this, but this is how I usually got it. Is I would go to Prapper, I would filter by item the AK-74, and I would buy enough to flee for about 13 to 15,000 rubles cheaper than actually buying it from Prapper. So I would usually buy one of these guns that are absolute trash looking. I would buy them, and then I would go to my presets where I have a set of attachments that are pretty cheap, pretty reliable, and are definitely enough for you to be able to control your spray on the AK. They're not inherently that expensive, but they definitely got the job done for me. So usually I'm rocking the default AKS-74 stock with a recoil pad that you can get both from level 1 Prapper with the default AK-74 polymer pistol grip. Ergonomics don't really matter for me, but of course if you want, you can go over and buy the AK-12 regular for about 1400 rubles. It does actually help quite significantly statistically, so for such a cheap price I would recommend it. And then usually I'm rocking the RK0, which does the most recoil reduction aside the RK1 or the RK2, but it is a lot cheaper. So then I'm usually rocking the DDK-1 762x39 or 5.45x39 muzzle brake, and then I usually have the B10M B19 foregrip and rail mount, which allows me to put the grip, the any tactical devices like flashlights or lasers, and a sight onto the gun. This is also available from Skier. It's about 14,000 rubles and is the most expensive attachment, but it allows you to attach most of the vital things for Killa hunting. Usually I like to run a flashlight on mine. I don't really see the point of lasers as they usually just give your position away, so I definitely don't like to take them out. And I ran Interchange nighttime for almost all of my kills. Probably 98 of my kills I got on nighttime because there's just significantly less players, and it makes it a lot easier for me to run to the middle and check the spawns and then get out safely and efficiently. Then usually I'm rocking the EKP-8-18 reflex sight. It's not the best reflex sight, but it does statistically do the least amount of ergonomics reduction. It's definitely a decent sight, really cheap too, so it's my go-to. But the flashlight I definitely would recommend if you run at nighttime, because it allows you to check the dark corners that I know for a fact Killa spawns in really consistently. So that takes it for the gun, and then I'm going to show you what type of ammo that I usually pack in this thing. Usually what I would do is I would strip this gun down, and then I would put all my attachments onto it, and then I would go out and I would buy 3 regular mags, and then fill 2 of them up with BP rounds, which is available, and I'm pretty sure Prapper level 3. Of course you can't get them on the flea market, but they are kind of expensive. But I would pack 2 mags with BP, which I would have for extra if I needed to fight players or whatnot, and then I would have 1 full regular mag filled up with BS rounds. And BS rounds, they are extremely expensive, but they are also really efficient. BS rounds have a significant amount of armor penetration, which is literally the key to killing Killa. If you're taking out high quality rounds, you are going to get a really good result. So I will show on the screen right now the difference between BS ammo and BP ammo when it comes to killing Killa. One takes significantly faster than the other. Although the price is definitely increased, I would definitely recommend it for anybody trying to hunt Killa. I would save the mag full of BS for Killa and the mags with BP for players, so that I don't run out of the BS. But of course, if you want, you can just fill all 3 mags up with BS just so you don't have to take that risk. It worked out for me for almost all of my kills, so I definitely recommend it, and it is a lot cheaper than going out and spending 30,000 rubles every single raid for a GL31 60 rounder mag when it's not even necessary. And then usually for meds, this is really just personal preference, but I like to keep it cheap. So I would just use a car first aid kit, which is available at level 1 therapist and AI2 level 1, and painkillers. Pretty simple and works really efficiently. It's really cheap, so that when you die, you don't really have to go back and buy, an IFAK that costs 21,000 rubles each time you buy it, or a solo one that costs 14,000. So it keeps it cheap, and it does about the same yeah, that's my kit guide and on how to efficiently farm Killa for money, rubles, armor, for the stylish one quests, whatever you're doing with them. This is definitely the way to go. So I hope some of you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to comment below saying so. If you guys want me to make tutorials on other ways to farm money, I definitely can, because I definitely have a lot of different methods that I do use occasionally for making money, and all of them work pretty efficiently. I'll also be making a Killa video pretty soon here. I have to get around to it. I've been sick with the flu for about a week, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better, which is why I'm finally getting around to making this video. I tried to record this video right before I got sick, but I didn't like the sound of the audio quality, so hopefully this is a lot better. I'll just stop rambling around now, so make sure to comment below if you want to see more tutorials. Make sure to leave a like if you actually learned something from this, and I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace.